Jordan's got a bone to pick.
I do.
I don't know if it's a bone to pick or you just need to express yourself.
I need to express myself, and the only healthy way to do it is through a video.
Through podcast to the masses. That's how we cope.
Yes. But it's gonna be kind of like I want your thoughts genuinely, but we're also gonna react to some things because I talked to my significant other about this, but it's not enough to talk to him. I obviously need to talk to everyone else about this.
Sorry,
as
Steven.
Well. Steven, you're listening to this. You're not enough.
She's got to talk to more people, apparently.
I need to talk to more people. I need to get people's thoughts. Because the initial thing started with me thinking about it, and then I kind of talked about it with Steven. My issue with Christian influencers, Christian dating influencers, all right? Mm-hmm. I have come to a place where I think that they are close to useless, and here's why.
Well, it's already a pretty niche market, I think.
It's not, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, but population-wise, like how many people, A, claim to be Christian, and then B, are like following the Christian dating guidelines, which are messy to begin with because they don't normally know what they're doing.
True. Well, that's part of the thing. Okay, but hear me out. All right. So there are Christians out there. All right. And so this is how this happened. I was looking into a certain video about a fitness influencer that she scammed a bunch of her clients. This was years ago. And I was kind of in fitness, so I was very interested in this case, which then got me on the trail of two influencers called Paul and Morgan. And it reminded me of when I used to listen to some of these Christian influencers who basically go on YouTube and they're like, we're sharing our whole lives with you. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about all the things that are a little bit slightly TMI. And some people say, Jordan, that's just rawness and honesty. But here's what's very weird about these videos is that one, they're kind of clickbaity. So they're obviously doing it for the clicks and therefore doing it for the money. And then the second thing is when you're being that raw and vulnerable with everyone online, it becomes artificial at a point. Like you're literally using your marriage or your relationship as a product to be able to make money. My third issue, and then you just tell me your thoughts when I'm done rambling here. My third issue is that these couples have been married for 2.5 seconds, right? Like 2.5 seconds. And when I mean 2.5 seconds, I mean like 5 years is 2.5 seconds, all right? Like, for example, when you see like someone like Jordan Peterson, right? Mm-hmm. He's been married now for, I assume, over 30 years.
I'm pretty sure it's over 30 years.
Yeah. He gives just incredibly thoughtful dating and marriage advice that you would never hear anywhere else. But you have all of these young couples that are Christians giving the most generic dating advice where they are saying things without saying anything.
33 years.
33 years, yeah. So a long time.
What's the name of this couple again?
Paul and Morgan. And for the record, I've only seen one video of the husband and another dude. And I was trying to find like people like to maybe like see what do these people talk about, like see other reaction videos. But I found that a lot of the reaction videos were from like leftists that just hate anyone that wants to have a more traditional marriage. I was like, well, that's not fair.
This is them, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That looks like the people from the channel. All right, so I guess this earns a little bit of backstory. Let me find where they met. So in November of 2015, Paul met Morgan on Tinder. Their first date was at a book fair, and their second date was at Morgan's church. They got engaged in March of 2016 and were married on July 15th, 2016. So 7 years to now.
Cool. Okay. 7 years.
Tinder's an interesting place to meet.
It is. It is.
And then go to the library.
I try not to.
A bookstore.
I really do try not to judge that, though.
Maybe they didn't know what Tinder was for. I don't know.
I don't know.
Although I've heard Tinder's not as bad. Tinder's not as bad as some others like Bumble and I'm blanking. There's other like they're just straight hookup apps.
Well,
Like
yeah.
that's all they're for.
Yeah.
Tinder is you could kind of take it either way.
Yeah, you could kind of go.
You start off
way.
picking somebody and for whatever reason based on their face.
Yeah, I mean that's how it normally goes. It's like, oh, you have a nice face, and then it leads to marriage. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Usually.
Except your wife, she didn't even remember you when she met you.
No, she didn't. So my face must not be that nice.
No, she likes it. Now that she's had a chance to look at it, she likes it. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, where the reason why I think it bugs me so much is that the advice is not that good, in my opinion. Like, it's very fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
And
nondescript, general, blanket statement.
Yeah. There was one, this was years ago, and I actually sent it to you years ago, where it was this couple, and they were basically saying, like, how they met, and there's, like, this dramatic music in the background, and and they're both Christians, and the guy he was saying is like, I just really wanted my wife to be a virgin. She's like, she's got to be a virgin. And he met, it's actually a very interesting story, but he ended up meeting the woman that he's now married to. And when he found out she was a virgin, he's like, oh yes, she's a virgin, and almost like there was this glorification of her being a virgin, which being a virgin is good. It's a good thing as you're waiting for marriage. But it seemed very odd, like very. I'm gonna always be kissing the mic. It seemed very odd. And then eventually in the video, she confronts him that he has a porn issue. And so do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Okay. And I was like, okay, this is my issue, that these are the people that these young Christians look up to. Not that they're all bad, because I think there's a lot of great values that they're giving. But I've just found that the dating thing for Christians is very murky. And I was talking to our manager about this maybe a couple days ago, that all these Christians, they have, like, this is how you date, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's black and white to them, and that there can be no other way. And so every Christian couple, they believe this, and a lot of the reasons why they believe it's so black and white is from their own experience. And so if everyone else is like them, well, then this is how they should do it. Mm-hmm. Not that there aren't general lines and boundaries. So if you're not a Christian, this isn't going to make sense to you, but I'm going to address this as if everyone's a Christian. That there's always going to be boundaries in Christian dating, but there is a lot of gray area as well. Oh yeah,
no, the gray areas don't go away. In fact, in some ways, I think they get worse.
It can,
because if you go off of a biblical example, it's quite literally a cultural example, and in that case, the parents pick out the spouse and they marry you off. Mm-hmm. They do the searching for you. And then you would be going on dates with the person that they think might be a fix or might be a match for you. And then y'all trade some cattle and figure stuff out from there.
Trading some live burgers.
Yeah, I don't know what you would trade today. You can trade some cryptocurrency.
Basically trading nothing. It's nothing, which is another conversation. But cryptocurrency is stupid. Yeah.
So is physical currency.
Burn, because we don't have enough silver.
Yeah, there's not anything backing that amount of money.
It's just tender now.
You got $100 bill. It's probably worth less than copper pennies.
You honestly are not wrong.
There's no inherent value to it. So
yeah, but I thought, listen, I wanted to give these guys a fair shake. I'm gonna be fair about it. All right, and I want there to be a reaction video out there that wasn't from jaded, ex-evangelical, more left-leaning liberals. We are Christian conservatives, try to do it the right way. We're probably going to agree with some of these guys' principles, but we're more just looking at what the approach is, and is this advice actually worth listening to, or could you listen to someone that's better?
Babe, sex question.
Hit me.
Just married, sex is good, but not amazing. How to grow in your sex life?
All right, well, the first thing that comes to mind is have weekly or bi-weekly meetings with your spouse where you just get vulnerable. Take the pressure off, but really be open. What is an aspect of our sex life that you feel like is going really well, and what is something that could be improved on? The second thing would be find a sex book, whether it's the same one that you're going through or different ones, that'll just help you improve as a lover. And the third one would be, and some might say this is controversial. I don't think it is, but find, whether it's a sex app, sex cards, something that kind of pushes you guys maybe a little bit out of your comfort zone, or just guides you in, here are some things that you can do with your spouse. It really spices it up. It really makes things exciting and causes you to branch out in a good way, but just use your discretion.
Very good. Now get back to cooking that potato.
Hot, it's hot, hot potato.
Ugh, I hate stupid jokes. Okay.
I'm going to let you just give me your thoughts first.
Initial thoughts?
Yeah.
His first tip is probably the best one that he gave. To just have open honesty.
Yeah, that one
between
sounded
partners.
good to
I'm
me.
not opposed to that one. I don't even remember what his second point was, to be honest. Oh, the book.
Yeah,
it's on
read
the
a
book. Probably a good idea for most people, especially virgins going into marriage, just to get your expectations in line.
Yeah, but he's talking about they're already in marriage, though.
Yeah, he's okay. So for,
Also, do we need to change the screen to just us?
should probably finish. I'm fine either way.
Okay, I didn't know which way you wanted to do it. It's up to you.
Can leave it, or we can make this bigger. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy. It kind of depends on the book he's talking about. Certainly don't go pick up 50 Shades of Grey to try and spice things up.
Yeah.
His third one's a bit odd because it sounds like what he's alluding to is more or less like they're more like kink cards or something like that, where it's just like, hey, here's a random position to try, or here's this. Like, it basically sounds like they're just trying. And here, I guess here's the key thing I cued in on the question. Whoever wrote in was that they're just married, they're recent, and they're like, sex is good but not great. Well, if you guys haven't been having sex, before marriage, and you're new to this, practice.
That was the first thing I thought.
Like anything else in life, you're probably not natural. Most people are not naturally good at whatever they do the first time, or even the first few times. So I just give it time. Yeah, no,
I'd agree with that. You're the married one here, not me. But just on again, I'm going to approach it from the single point of view, where it seems kind of, again, it's that surface level of like, oh, well, read a book. Just read a book. Or like, well, obviously there must not.
Clearly he didn't give you a specific book.
Yeah. And, then it's like, oh, again, like I think the way you put it was good, kink cards, where typically, and you would have to tell me if I'm on the right track here with keeping your privacy, is that, sex is much more than just, yes, practice, you're correct, but also if things are not going well in the relationship, that is going to be reflected, I believe at least, in how the sex is there trust in your relationship, things of that sort. I feel like he has this guy, they've been married for 7 years. Mm-hmm. So they're past the honeymoon stage enough to know this, that if there's conflict, in the relationship, or if there's something going on, which he kind of did half address in that first point.
Like he kind of got it, and then it kind of trailed off, where he was just like, time to explore. And I think I find that one a bit odd of advice, because if they're talking about a newly married couple that just hasn't figured things out yet, then I don't think that advising them to go try all these different things is the... We'll put it this way: the more advanced techniques, they're not ready for yet. Like when it comes to two people that are married, if they're consenting and they both want to try something like that, fine, do it. But I don't think that his advice is warranted for them and their situation. Now, if somebody had written in and been like, hey, been married for 50 years and we're getting a little bored, what do we do? Maybe that's a viable piece of advice there.
Yeah. I agree. And to end on this one, so we can get on to a different one, like the last two suggestions are something that anyone would do if they went on Amazon or like Googled something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not
actually Google
not the
might
best.
give better advice than
they
that.
might. Yeah. Okay. I would honestly give that like a solid 4 out of 10. I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, 4, maybe 5 out of 10. Just
yeah. Okay.
This is what's your question. Is flirting cheating?
That is a big question. Wow. Wow. Well, I think it's important to start out with this. There are some personalities that are just very bubbly and it can come across flirting. The intentions can be pure, I think. Now, when it comes to the actual flirting where you're like, I'm trying to stir something up here with this other person, but you're married, not good. Jesus said, even if you look at a man or woman to lust after them, you're committing adultery in your heart. So if you're trying to stir stuff up and you're married, how dare you? How dare you? You could get into all the intricacies of, well, no, technically you're not doing a physical act, but if you are moving in that direction, oftentimes the physical acts follow. And even if it doesn't, the emotional stuff is no comprendo, no bueno, no bueno.
Honestly, I agree with that.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
I would agree with that one either. There's not anything for me to come back on
Nope.
and
I agree with them.
go against.
Don't touch the fire. Just don't do it.
Just don't even start prepping the gasoline in the matches. Just
Yep.
Yeah, it's just what's the end goal for flirting, or what's the end result? And that's usually where, at least a relationship starts developing. So you're just getting yourself emotionally involved.
Exactly. Yeah. Nope. To me, that was 10 out of 10.
Is it wrong to act on a fantasy like wanting the husband to wear a cowboy hat?
Girl, go for it. Get your husband a cowboy hat.
I thought that was going to be something way more.
I would not want to act out a fantasy, or I guess you call it role playing, if it's something that is evil. Like if I'm acting out something that is immoral,
Right.
then I'm kind of like, no,
Like you said, I was
Bible
trying to
says
keep
give
it
no
PG.
appearance of evil.
Yeah, if you're like pretending to be in a love affair, even though you guys are technically, I don't know, that just seems like weird.
Yeah, I've heard of that
If
one.
you're-
But that's weird.
I actually think it could be fun, and I would like to do a little more of that. I think there's so much beautiful freedom within the marriage bed.
You know what you're getting your husband for Christmas, whoever asked that.
Wear the hat.
And talk in a country accent.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am.
Starting to get a little cringe. Is it
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be some boundaries about that, but no, I mean, cowboy hat, I don't understand, but if you wanna, if that's just really gonna do it for you, where do they both wear the cowboy hats?
Depends. I guess it depends on our fantasy, or his fantasy.
Well, go for it. I agree.
Yeah, no, I'll take the stance that I did in one of the earlier clips. Like, it's two consenting adults that are married. As long as you guys are both for it, then have at it.
I'm really getting tired of this dating app. Cruella.
Oh, it's
Isabel.
a
Is it an ad?
it's an ad. Oh my god.
A Christian girl with just the right amount of naughty. I'm gonna be single
Catfish.
forever. I'm done.
Hang on a minute.
What's up, guys? I'm Paul.
Wait. Oh, hang on.
We met through online dating.
Okay, hang on.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand the scenario they just set up there.
So, like, he's pretending to look for a girl, and then his wife's like, I'm not gonna, but like, hey, babe, like, you don't have to. It's like, wait a minute, is he with someone? Are they swingers? Like, I just don't feel like the ad.
They're
I don't feel like-
polyamorous or Mormon.
right. Like,
Time to get another wife.
I don't feel like.
Too lazy to
ad
go
was
out and do
good.
it now. You just have to get on an app and find them.
I'm sorry. Go on. I was like,
Granted, it was not a Christian dating app.
The app that we met on, there was just a lot of like swiping. This person might be good. Ooh, doesn't look like they have the same vision.
Which is why we're super excited to share with you all higherbond.com. It's a new online Christian dating website built for Christian singles who value their faith as the driving force in their relationship.
This site focuses on quality matches and engagement over quantity. We should know that online dating can work, and we actually highly recommend it. Try this out.
If you're a Christian looking for love,
Check out higherbond.com.
it's lies. They always say that. They all say that. They're
It's
like,
all about quality. Okay.
like, no, this app is gonna be the one. Like this, it's like it's
Yeah, it'll
almost,
be this one.
Finding an app like is almost as hard as finding a significant other. It's like, which app is gonna be the one for me to find the one?
Yeah. Which app is my one?
Which app is my one that I can find my one so I can get rid of the app.
I'll give Higher Bond, a couple of points for being more creative than ChristianMingle.com.
Higher Bond, though, you just think of I don't know, just what's the word, like jail and your bond, higher bond.
Yeah, well, considering some of the other videos we watched, it was like maybe they're talking about like bondage.
Your mind went way dirtier than that.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
Don't expect your sex once you get married. Don't expect the sexiness and the adventuresome, crazy, awesome stuff to go from 0 to 100 right out of the gate. That is going to take some time. And if I had realized that before getting married, I wouldn't have brought out the whipped cream on our honeymoon. It was a bad idea. It made Morgan cry.
Yes, it did. You think that you've communicated about sex? You probably haven't communicated enough about sex. There are times when either Paul and I are talking to one another or another couple. We're like, so how's our sex life doing? I'm like, it's great. And Paul's like, well, it's good. But, and I'm like, wait, what? I thought we were good. I thought we were on the same page.
When you think you've communicated enough, communicate more.
This video seems a lot older. I'm actually curious. It's only a year old. This feels so different from their newest stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to go to some of their new stuff. I mean, overall, I didn't disagree with that.
No. Actually, I think I had basically said the same thing after the first video.
First question, Vivian, is are you a Christian?
Yes.
How do you feel about kissing before marriage?
Okay. My fiance's over there. We've definitely kissed before marriage. There's different
Types of kissing.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't going there, but I guess that leads into a good point of kissing can lead to other things such as sex, but I think that you need to set a boundary, and if you can't kiss, then I think that you shouldn't kiss before marriage. But if you feel like you can uphold that boundary, then I think that it's fine.
Do you regret kissing as early as you did?
I guess regret is not the word, but I definitely wish that we had put different boundaries in place, or I guess I wish we would have waited a little bit longer. I feel like I would tell other people literally you should just wait. It's not worth it to kiss before, but
Thank you for answering. First question, Vivian, is...
Yeah, so that's the one that's usually the question that trips a lot of Christians up, where
you think so?
Yeah, well, they're very dogmatic one way, or they're not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There are some that are I think the woman gave a good answer, where she's like, hey, if you don't think that this is something you can do based on your personal experience, maybe the sins you've already faced, or just yourself too well, then don't do it. She's like, but if you think you can uphold that boundary, sure. And I think that's a fair thing to say overall.
All right, Morgan, sex question.
will I ever get privacy?
Christian wives taking pole dancing classes for their husbands.
All right, well, you're asking me this because recently I was listening to a podcast and the woman said her and some of her closest friends went and took a pole/lap dance class so they could be sexy for their husband.
Oh, goodness.
And it's sparked some controversy in the Christian women community, and I'm here to say, I think, ladies, why are we not being our husband's wildest fantasies? Why are we not learning how to be sexy for ourselves, for our husbands, be more confident in who we are as godly, sexual human beings? It's okay. It's good. So, yeah, go take a lap dance class or watch a YouTube video on how to give a good lap dance. At the end of the day, though, you're going to have to go with your own conviction. Every marriage is unique.
What are your thoughts?
I've got a bunch of different thoughts. A lot of it it just has to do with specifics. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with them trying to figure out how to have more fun with their husbands. I would be concerned about how they learned, like if they were practicing on other guys, that would kind of be out. And of course, I'm not going to recommend people go watch like a pornographic film to try and figure out new ways to explore each other. And I think there's some it's okay, but with some severe limitations in place.
Yeah, and I would say too. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd also check your motivations. Where I think I could be off on this. I might get beat up in the comments, but I do think that with the rise of porn, women feel the need to compete with that to an extent.
I mean, I would think you would.
Yeah. So, for example, because I work in the photography industry, I've been in it now for almost 10 years, and there's boudoir photography, and I have seen it like explode over like the past couple of years. And a lot of the vibes that I get is like there's a level of insecurity that they have, and they, want these pictures. And I'm not saying, kind of like what you're saying, I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with taking a sexy picture for your husband or vice versa. I'm not even saying that doing like a lap dance is like wrong within the marriage or whatever that is. But I would just say to be careful to check your motivation about why you're doing that. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I think
intent matters there.
Yeah.
If they're feeling like they have to compete with other women that he can see, or she, with other men, like whichever way it goes, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's more attributable to issues within the relationship.
Yeah, and also too, I mean, it's not just on the woman. If there's a porn issue in the marriage, whether it's on the woman's part or the man's part, doing more sexy sex, I don't think is gonna solve that.
No.
So
if they're just trying to increase their skill set per se and have more fun together, then I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with that. I like I said before, though, I do think context of how they're learning is
that's a big
specifically
thing.
The lap dance. The pole dancing they can obviously do by themselves.
Yeah. Where do you find a pole though to practice on? Where's the pole?
They have whole studios.
Like, where's the pole in your house though?
You would have to install it away from the public.
I'm not going through that much effort. I'm not doing it.
I actually saw a meme recently where somebody said, "Oh, looks like my neighbor downstairs got a pole for their living room because there was 4 screws that came up through their floor." Like whoever was being overly cautious about installing this pole, probably 2 of the screws missed, by the way. But yeah, they had like 4 screws coming through. I'm like, that's a really big screw to go up through the ceiling and past the floor joists, which are typically like in residential homes is like 12 inches. So you're talking about a screw somebody put in that was like probably 14 inches long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, they better be more secure than not secure. Otherwise they're going to have their wife up there or themselves, the husband up there, and it's just going to rip out of the ceiling and they're going to fall. Yeah.
Yeah. On a slightly personal note, I don't get it. If it really does it for you and you need that pole in your home, I mean, make the investment. Like, why wait? Like, do it now.
Get a good quality
one. Do it
one.
now. Get a good quality. Don't go for the cheap stuff. Get the pole that's gonna last for your entire marriage. That's good advice right there.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before. There's difference between the pole dancing like fitness classes and then the pole dancing sexy classes.
I still wouldn't do a pole dance fitness, although I will say it's hard.
It looks incredibly hard.
Yeah, no, it would be hard, for sure. I don't think I would do it. Just in my own conviction, I wouldn't really want to do that for my exercise.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I'd be curious just to see how hard it is, though. Like the way that they'll hold on with just their leg or just their arms. It just some of that floors me. It's up there with gymnastics. Just the control they have over their body.
Yeah, no.
To manage it like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but overall, with those clips, I think
we'd have to watch some of the longer videos
I would like to
and cut those up to see how they are, because the shorts just kind of give like little
it's not enough
glimpses.
context. Do I think that it was like particularly mind blowing? No.
No, but it wasn't extraordinarily dumb either.
No. I mean, it seems like they're making a living off of it, so people wanna see it.
They had better advice than anybody from like Beverly Housewives.
Oh,
I mean, that's the thing. That's what it is.
for
It's
sure.
essentially a reality show. It's up there with Sister Wives and and any of the Housewives shows or any of the other reality shows on TV, which I just cannot name them. But
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of those. Myself.
what was it like? Kate. I can't remember. Kate plus 8. I don't.
Yeah,
I know the
that-
husband cheated and left because he's a piece of shit. But
Yeah, no, that's a whole messed up
yeah,
situation.
I mean that's basically what YouTube is you get to self-document this stuff as you go. So
I just don't know why I would want, and I don't know why I would want to do that to my marriage. I just don't. There's no appeal to me in like making a video about my wedding night to share with thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are in a culture of oversharing where I do understand we need to be more open about sex. And I think that would be good for our younger generation, but I wish people wouldn't go to YouTube to do it. Like, you need to build a community where you can have those open conversations, but to put it online, it's weird to me. There's something weird about that.
yeah, I could see that. I don't
Yeah.
feel like they got terribly specific.
No,
Like they didn't say what they were trying to do with what he was trying to do with the whiped cream on their
no,
marriage.
and that's the thing with the
But I was
shorts.
like, I found
no.
that I think it's funny.
I don't know there. I think you'd have to look at some of the longer videos and see how they approach those specific topics. But overall, it's me saying it officially, and I'm gonna stand by it. I don't see the point in publicizing your marriage that much.
And I think I'll extend that. It's not just video content. It's Facebook, Instagram. It's pictures. It's posts.
Yeah.
It's just it becomes a bit too much. I miss the good old days of Facebook where you just got on to say hi to friends and play some Farmville.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Farmville.
it.
Yes.
They
yes.
closed it down during the pandemic, by the way. I think it was like
So
2021. I think they cut off the server. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back. Like I just had like a random thought out of
I'm gonna go play Farmville.
what is Farmville doing today? I don't know. I don't get on Facebook on my browser anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to go take a look. And it's like, no, Farmville's gone.
Oh, poor Connor.
Dang.
So sad. So sad. Yeah, no, we're in a, you're right. The oversharing extends to people that don't have vlogs, they're just constantly sharing pictures of every moment. It's like you have nothing to call your own anymore. There's nothing anymore that can feel like it's just shared between you two.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is something very romantic about that. Honestly, at this point, when people are oversharing, I'm sorry, I'm going to be very honest. I think when people overshare pictures of their kids, pictures of them, their spouse, they seem insecure to me. It seems insecure. Where I'm like, if you're secure enough, you don't need to do that. You don't. That's just how I feel.
I just think it's a lot of work and I don't want to do it.
Well, I'm always down with you sharing pictures of Levi. That's the dog, by the way.
Yeah, no, I leave that up to my wife to share pictures. It doesn't cross my mind to take pictures. And if I do take a picture, I'm taking the picture to share it.
Steven is exactly the same way.
Yep.
He
So
doesn't
very
take
few
any
photos.
pictures. Yeah, he has like no photos. None.
That sounds about right.
The last meaningful picture he took was of Goose. It was a corgi.
I was about to ask, wait, goose or a goose? What are you talking about?
It's a corgi named Goose.
That was about right.
Yep. He's really cute. He's a good corgi. The best corgi I've ever
Can
met.
corgis be good?
Yes, this one is.
I rattled off a list of dogs that I just think they're good for nothing other than just being a companion.
No, this corgi was the cutest corgi ever, and he was well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
He was socialized. He was wonderful. I miss Goose. Goose, if you're watching this.
He's not.
I know. Okay, well, you're going to have to let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think that Christian influencers are stupid? Or do you think that they're actually helpful? Are we being too harsh? Are we being too kind? Tell us how much you disagree with us in the comments below.